and welcome to this podcast, Feel Inside Yourself. My name is Ulla Goldberg. I'm a host of this podcast and I'm a coach and mentor from Germany. I help people to create a life with ease, with more serenity, with a positive mindset. And this podcast is here for you to raise your awareness, to become more mindful, and to just find peace and security within you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Feel Inside Yourself. And you probably noticed it's in English today because I have a very special guest. Mili Ristic is here with me, and she's a mindset coach and helps people to turn on their magic. She currently lives in New York City, but she's originally from Serbia. Hello, Mili. Welcome to my podcast.
Hi, thank you, Ulla, for inviting me. I'm so happy to be here.
How are you in New York City?
I'm doing very, very well. I love it. I call New York City my home, so
very cool.
I really love it.
That's, I think, something we really have in common. I mean, I do not live in New York City, but I really love the city and I've been there many times. And I'm a little jealous that you live there. But then I'm very happy to visit again one day and then maybe meet you in person.
Oh, definitely. Yes. Yes. I cannot wait, actually. That would be great. Yeah.
So, Mili, you're a mindset coach. What does that mean for you? And when did you start working on your own mindset? How did that come?
Yeah, that's a good question. I call it in my coaching, I was unconscious competent, meaning I was using this, didn't really know what I was doing. So in 2019, an year actually before that, some inner voice told me, you are not in this planet to help only one person, which was my former employer, but to help more people. So I was like, okay, I understand that. I love to help people. Sometimes I would have friends calling me and they're like, oh, I just need your energy a little bit to, boost me up because I'm so down and So I was like, okay, what is that about me? Right? That was always positive, no matter what was happening in my life. I'm not saying that I've always had flowers in my life, but I really had tough life and childhood and all that. So, and then when I got this inner voice intuition, I Googled it. I was like, okay, how to find my purpose and how to help more people. Like, what is that actually, what I'm going to do to help as many people as I can. And then I just ran into a website of my mentor, Bob Proctor, and I fall in love. I signed up for a seminar that was held in LA, but I was live streaming here in New York, and I was glued to my laptop for 3 days, and I was crying, and I was, oh my God, this man is saying everything what I am and who I am. Like, I need to go in person there in LA. So next step was I went there in person, and Bob became my mentor, and I said to myself, this is what I want to do. I want to do exactly what Bob is doing, helping others. So that's how I started my conscious inner work. Yeah.
Very interesting. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you said something, you wanted to find your purpose. And I think that's very important for a lot of people. They always say, well, I want to find my purpose. I want to do something that is meaningful. And what is my determination? So what would you say? How can you find out what your purpose and your determination is?
You know what? I feel like I kind of knew what is my purpose in terms of, I didn't know what I'm going to do, but I know my purpose is really to help others. So when you look within yourself, you kind of know where you are the best at. Doesn't, like, if you really like, what is it that really jazzed you up? Like, what is it that makes you the most happier person? For me, I'm always fulfilled and the most happiest person when I am able to help somebody else. So for me, that was like, okay, this is who, okay, so then what job I should do? Like, what is the work that I need to do to help others? So that's how I found my purpose. But for the rest of you, if you don't really know what that is, so just make a list. This is what I tell usually to some of my clients as well. Make a list of what you are good at. What do you really like to do? What is that really, well, some people will say I have 5 things that I really love to do, or 6 things, and like, right, that is true, but there is only one that you're the most happiest while you're doing it.
Mhm.
What is that one? Like, just start identifying what is it that you really love doing. Doesn't matter what that might be. Maybe your hobby or something. Sometimes, many times people really find their purpose through their hobbies,
Yes.
doing what they really love to do, right? So yeah, don't underestimate that.
I think that's an important point because people sometimes think it has to be very complicated to find the purpose, and it has to be something really big, and it's always already
Yeah,
inside us. Like you say, the things you love to do, like, let it be easy. But I think sometimes people think it's not worthy if it wasn't complicated and hard. And it
true.
can be so much easier if you just, like you say, make a list. What do you love? What are you good at? And
Yeah.
work with that from then.
Yeah, work with that and see what is the one thing that you like the most from all of them. But also, your life purpose can be also um like being a mother. Like, I have friends that they don't want to do anything else in their life by being a mother. Like, that's not bad thing. Like, whatever that might be, maybe you like to make cookies, maybe that's your purpose in life. Like,
Mhm.
whatever that might be, but just don't think, oh, as you said, like, doesn't have to be complicated at
Yeah.
all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Would you also say that it's an important thing and to start at one point, and you will find out more once you go? Because sometimes people think I'll start when I found my purpose, when I know what I have to do. But then I sometimes think you find it by going that way. Would you also say
Yes.
a way?
Hmm.
Was it that for you also?
Hmm. You see, my previous it's so funny. Like, I worked in different industries. I work in hospitality, I work in commercial real estate, interior design, actually, and then I work in technology. So all these jobs, I was related in helping others. So I was in sales and marketing. It's called actually business development position. I don't know if you have that in Europe.
Mhm.
But my job was to connect others, like for instance, I would connect the owner of my company with the potential clients, so learn more what their needs are, what their problems are, and then get back into the office and like da da da. And then also make introductions through like friends in the industry who is looking for a job. Okay, I know the owner who is looking for employees. So I was always doing that, even though in the hospitality, when I was working for Carnival Cruise Line for 4.5 years. There I was organizing events, I was taking care of people diets and all. So I was helping people even then. So you see, so when I look back, exactly, you gotta start doing something whenever you have some instinct from
Mhm.
your intuition. Like, use your intuition more and just step into it and will take you, and it will unfold. At that moment, maybe you would not recognize it as a life purpose, but it will unfold.
Mhm. You would probably say, well, it was normal for me to help other people and to bring them together, right?
That is true. Yes, it felt
Yeah.
natural for me. Like, even though for apartments, like, I have friends, I never finished university in US. I don't have like college here. I finished back home. But I have friends, Americans, or friends who came immigrated from Russia or whatever. They have master degrees here in US, and I don't know, whatever certificates and everything. And they still called me to, if I knew somebody they're looking for that position that they have certificates on. And I'm like, really? Like, so yeah, that's what, like, I was always doing these connections. And as you said, this felt so natural to me that, and then here I am. And then I was like, okay, what I was doing, what is that? And it's, so now all dots are connected through the inner work and working with Bob Proctor and coaching my clients. So
And that's usually what makes success easy, when you do something that you naturally do anyways. And then I hear a lot of times, well, that's nothing special that I'm doing, I'm just doing it. Well, yeah, that's what you have to do. That's probably part of your purpose. And yeah, that's how you will be successful. Very
sure.
cool.
Yeah.
Mm, so, well, it usually starts with like having a goal. I mean, if you want to grow, you will have to have some kind of goal, or you don't know where you're going. And if you don't know where you're going with your car, if you don't put an address in your navigation, you're not going to know where you end up. So it's good to know where you want to go. But how do you find out what you really the goal is you want to achieve? Like that's really coming from inside, or if it's a goal that you think would be good to reach. So how do you find out what your goal is?
So how do you find out? So you have different type of goals, right?
Mhm.
They're I would say daily goals, weekly goals. In my program, we call it A, B, and C goals. A goals are goals that you already know how to do. That's not very interesting. Like it's not motivating. B type goal is goal that you think you know how to do. You kind of, it's a little bit bigger, but you think you know, and you can find ways. And then worthy goals, C type goals are goals that you never been there before. And you're scared even to think about it.
Mhm.
So this is where my specialty is. And how to find what your goal is, I would think that actually I would say that there is something that you have huge desire to do, to go for. And sometimes if your audience, if all of you who are listening this are inner workers, I would say, in working on yourself, you'll know, because when you detach yourself from your intellect
Mhm.
and you plug in yourself with your soul, with your inner self, you'll definitely know what is the essence of my goal. Why do I want this? Like what is why behind my why?
Mhm.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
Why I'm doing this. So then you'll know, is that a really goal that you want to go for or no? Like I do have, for instance, clients, his goal was to double his income. And why he wanted to double his income? Because he wanted to buy a house for his parents. And that was like such a huge desire and motivator for him to go for this goal. And
Yeah.
it's important. If you don't have that desire, you will never achieve goal.
So what I hear a lot is that people usually want to manifest money, and that's very important that you mentioned the why, because sometimes people, I mean, it's easy to measure money goals. That's why a lot
Yeah.
of people have money goals, and a lot of coaches only teach money goals. What I usually don't do, it's more about what things in life do you want to achieve. But with money, it's usually like, yeah, I mean, being a millionaire sounds good to probably most of us in the long run. So people will say, okay, I want to be a millionaire. But as you say, you have to have a why behind, right, to achieve that goal. Or it's like, it doesn't make any, like, what do you send to the universe? I want 1,000,000. Okay, but why? So would you say the why is one of the most important parts?
It is. They need to know why. You need to know why you want to achieve whatever that might be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're not gonna go. Yeah, you can say, everybody say, I want to be a millionaire, but how much they want it and why they want it. It's like, oh, everybody's saying, oh, that would be nice. But it's not, it's not really about that. Like, can you imagine yourself being a millionaire? What would you do when you get, in that position?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
a lot of times, yeah, then what if you have the million? What would you do with it if you had it? That's why a lot of probably from the lottery millionaires, they are broke again very shortly after, because they don't have no idea what to do with a million, and they're not identified with being a millionaire.
A millionaire, it's not that big. What is a millionaire today? Nothing. That's not a big number or big money. You cannot even buy an apartment in New York for that money.
Right.
What is nothing?
Yeah. You're
So,
right.
I mean, actually everything is relevant. So for somebody, it's lots of money. For somebody, it's not. Depends how do you compare it with what. So.
Right. You're totally right. Well, I think for a lot of people, it is a big number to achieve. But then on the other hand, like you say, to buy an apartment in one of the big cities around the world, even here in Munich, in Germany, you will probably not get an apartment like 2-3 bedrooms for that. You're
For
right.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. You're right. What is a lot of money? I mean, that's another point, right? It's
Yeah.
different for everybody. Mm-hmm.
It's relevant, yeah. If you compare a million with $100,000 a year, it's a lot of money. If you compare 1 million with 15 millions,
Yeah.
it's nothing, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah,
You're
it's all
true.
about perception.
Yes. So you say you help people to turn on their magic. What is important that, like, first off, why should people turn on their magic?
That's I really love that question because we are so powerful human beings that we are not even aware of it. And what I mean when I say turn your magic on, it means I don't know, have you ever watched that movie? It's called The Love of the Game, where Kevin Costner, he's a baseball
Yeah.
player.
Mm-hmm.
He's the pitcher, right?
Yes.
And when he stands there before he pitched the ball, he's in New York, and everybody's screaming and shouting at him, and like it's crazy. And he says to himself, I always feel when I'm in New York because like people are aggressive and right, they don't want him there and whatever. So he says to himself, clear the mechanism,
Mm-hmm.
freeze all the noise, everything that is going on outside of him, freeze and just focus on another person there, right? And like pitch the ball. So that's what I mean. Stop living only on 5 senses, which are see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, but use your inner powers, which are imagination, which is the memory, reason, your intuition, very big one, perception. Use the perception in a different way. Don't always look in the bad things, look in the everything, find everything good in any situation. And also will, it's also very, very big inner power that you guys have. And this is what my passion is, to actually, this is what I'm doing in my coaching as well, to really help people stop working hard, stop living and existing only, like start creating. You can create your life by using your inner powers, your intuition. If you just follow your intuition, you will be like wherever you want to be. But usually as human beings, what we do, we always talk out our intuition, from we talk out ourselves from that ideas that we get as impulses.
What do you
So
think
yeah,
are the main reasons why people don't turn on their magic and don't listen to their intuition and don't create the life they want?
because they don't trust themselves, and nobody taught us in school. This is what I say my clients, I'll teach you the biggest talent in life, and that's the talent how to think.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody teaches in school how to think and how to use our inner powers. They never been mentioned in any material, school material, not even our parents. And usually I remember before, when I was in situation, what people always ask somebody else for advices instead of asking themselves. Just go inside you. You know that all answers are within you. Don't ask for somebody else. Why? Everybody else has lives in their own world and they have different experiences. So for some certain situation that you ask them for advice, who knows what kind of experiences they had? So they will advise you based on their experiences. So people don't trust. Before I didn't also, I was always, whenever I would, like, I know intuitively that I'm right. I know what I need to do. But then other people are advising me this and that, do this and do that. And I would listen, right? And then after that, I would always regret. I was like, oh, I should have listened to my intuition. And this happens a lot to
Yeah,
everyone.
that's true. A lot of sometimes people ask, but well, how do I know it's the intuition and it's not like my mind? So what would you say? How do you know it's your intuition that's speaking to you?
Intuition always comes first. And it's like a little instinct, something right fast. But then it's followed right away. It's followed with reasoning mind, with your logical mind, with your programming. Oh, for instance, let's say you, Ula, you want to move to New York, for instance, right?
Mhm.
And you got this instinct, you want to do it, but then your logic comes right away. Oh no, how I'm gonna move there? Oh my god, I have to leave everything here. I don't have anybody, I don't have family there, I don't have friends there. How I'm gonna find a job? This is silly, don't do this, like, right?
Mhm.
Right away.
Right.
But if we would trust ourselves a little bit more and
Mhm.
listen that intuition, like I did, and I didn't even know what I was doing back then, your life will be like, wow, magic,
Yeah.
a real magic.
It's so true that it's usually like coming right away. You know the 5 second rule from Mel Robbins that I love. Well, you ask a question, do I want to do that? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the first thing is, if it's a yes, then it's your intuition and you want to do it. If it's a no, then you'll also know. But
Yeah.
usually we think about things way too long. And if we
Mhm.
wait, then it's gone because
Done.
yeah,
Yeah.
we have so
Universe loves
many,
speed.
yes, we have so many reasons why not to do things and that are holding us back.
Yeah. Because we're programmed like that.
Yeah.
People will be astonished if they would know that they don't think.
Yeah.
They think only 3% of the day. Everything else is on autopilot.
Yeah.
Mm.
So there is no coincidence, right? That's what you also say on your
Yeah.
website. There is no coincidence in this universe. What do you mean with that?
I mean, if you ended up on my page on my website, that means there is a reason why you are there. You were searching for something, you were looking for something, you wanted to change something in your life, and then you ended up there. That's what I mean. There is no coincidence. Every situation that happens in life happens for a reason. You might not know it at this moment, but later on you will connect the dots and like, oh, that's why I spoke with that person. Oh, that's why I met this person. So there is always a reason. Even today, there
Yeah.
is a reason why we are here. There is no coincidence.
I'm sure that's not a coincidence. Well,
Yeah.
it happens sometimes that when people are successful and they witness you, they will try to find reasons why you are lucky and why it works for you and not for
Uh-huh.
them. What
Mhm.
do you say, people that come up with reasons why it works for you but not for them?
Why? Yeah, because I usually tell them, because I tell them usually, you are not dreaming enough.
Mhm.
You are just complaining. You are like, if you continue living like this, like, I will start asking them questions. When was the last time when you got promotion, or when was the last time when you doubled your salary? And they were like, no, not. I live the same like 10 years already. Like, well, yeah, you see, that's why it's happening for me. It doesn't happen for you. I don't live in box or in comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference.
Mhm.
In order to grow and start happening to you, you gotta get out of your comfort zone.
Mhm. Yeah, that's so important. Sometimes I have the feeling that since I started my journey, I'm constantly out of my comfort zone. And if I get back into it, something in me pushes me right out of it again. And I'm like, okay, what's happening again? I don't know where is up and down. What's happening here?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting, right?
So what
Yeah.
else is important to turn on their own magic? I mean, we said, well, stop believing all that bullshit. Start
Mhm.
listening to your inner voice. What else is important?
Start working on yourself. That's the main thing. Start working on yourself and learn who you really are as a human being. And we come in this world like what was his name? Saravadan, something like that. Oh my God, the guru. He said, and I love what he said. He said, these notifications on your phone and on your laptop, they just pop up and they leave. They pop up and they leave. That's exactly, this is you. You pop up on this world and then you leave. That's how short it is. It's your life. And there must be a bigger thing why you're here. You're not here to suffer. You're not here to live bad lives and like whatever. You're here to really like really, really grow. You're here to contribute to these communities. It's not just, I'm here and but think about it. All of us who are here, we are winners. We are winners. That's a beautiful uh night time when before you're born, so 9 months before you're born there, yeah, you're a winner, so that's why you need to behave as a winner. And just if you just know, if you just start working on yourself and then learning that you're not physical, you're much more unphysical, the things that you cannot see, hear, smell, taste and touch, and start using that and trusting, having more faith.
Mhm.
That's more important, very important.
I think it's a chance of 1 to like 400 trillion or 4 trillion to even be on this earth. So the chance to
Exactly.
even be here, to be born, like you say,
Yes,
it's like a miracle
it
that
is a
we
miracle.
made it here.
Yeah, it's a magic,
Yeah, it is.
and we still don't appreciate that, you know
Yeah, that's a big part. Even appreciating that we are here. Well, for me personally, I was somebody who always did something. I always thought I have to achieve things, and I was a human doing until I discovered, and I'm still am discovering it, that I'm a human being, and just being here would be enough. It would be
Mhm.
like you're worth just being here. And we all think we live in a society where we think we have to do a lot of things
Yeah.
to have a purpose here. And maybe that's very important, to think it's enough that I'm here, I'm being, much more
Yeah,
important than doing stuff all the time.
exactly. Being here and creating from within and not from outside. Create your life from within. Like that is so powerful, if you are just open-minded and at least start step by step to learn that and how to use your powers and how to think differently. Actually, how to think in the right way, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm,
So you said that personal development is very important in all of that journey that we have here on Earth. And I have the feeling it's much more common in the US to have a coach, to go to therapy, to get help. I have the feeling that in Europe, it's still a very strange thing to do, to get help, to have a coach. What would you say? Is it really different in the US?
like something is wrong with you if you go to the coach.
Yes, you have a problem and you're crazy.
Yeah, you have problem and then you're crazy. That's what I thought actually about therapists when I was growing up in Serbia. I thought, oh my God, like that's like you have some mental problems. That's why you're going to a therapist. So when I came here, I learned that's totally normal to have a therapist, and like why not? And you know what? I got a great description, actual explanation of a friend of mine. Um, she was talking. We met for lunch. She was talking, and we were like five girls at the table, and she was talking that she went to her therapist and da da da. And then I was laughing and she mentioned some topics, like random topics about relationships or something like that. I'm like, you're going to a therapist, you're paying therapist to give you advices on this. Like, out of your mind. Like, don't you have friends, to talk to them? Like in my country, that's normal. I go to my friend and then and before, that was before. so so she said, Mili, no, why I would bother my friends? They all have their own problems. I go to a therapist, like I know my things, I go there, I fix the problem. I don't want to bother them with my problems. And I was like, wow, this was huge for me, a huge realization that really, because in our country, you really like, you don't have time, protected time. Like your neighbor or your friend will call you and start crying, and they don't even ask you, do you have a moment? Are you in do you have time to talk? I really would love your help on this, on that, but they just start blue, like, and you're like, wait, I'm at a dinner. Like, what the heck is going on? So I still think that the situation is still like that in Europe, but it's getting better. That's what I think. I believe. I don't know. I don't live there now. You live there. So you tell me.
Well, first off, I really like the idea of saying, well, I go to the therapist to talk about my problems and solve them, because then usually it's not that emotional than with friends. I mean, with your friends, they get emotional too. Then they're not professionals to help you solve your problems.
Yeah.
And wouldn't it be cool if with your friends you only had fun and talk about the cool
Exactly.
things and
Yeah.
dream big maybe?
Yeah.
Then bring the problems to a coach or a therapist. I really like that idea. And then, well, I think in Europe, I mean, sometimes I'm in a bubble because I'm in that coaching bubble, and I talk to a lot of people that love coaching and they have a coach and they coach. And so I think, oh, it's getting common here in Germany too. But then when I'm out of my bubble, I know that people think it's still crazy. I talk openly about it. I mean, I also say I went to a therapist when I had problems. I always have a coach. I love it, but there's still work to do. So hope more of them. Usually everything that starts in the US, 20 years later, it comes to Europe.
Europe. Yeah, true. But also vice versa. For some things, it's vice versa.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But with the personal development, I think Americans are more open and a little farther than we here in Europe are. Maybe that's why I had really the urge to connect to the US more.
Yeah.
That to Germany and to Europe. That's, I think, kind of part of my purpose. Uh,
Yeah, definitely. You were more kind of US
yeah.
mentality, I would say, then. Well, hey, everything starts how we are raised, right? And like, I'm raised like very, very differently than I'm now. So like lots of limitations, lots of different beliefs that I needed to clean that from my system. So yeah, nobody was talking about personal development even though in the college and my university, like forget about it. What is that? What is personal development? When I started working with Bob, actually, and there's a question right before joining his course, and like they asked me question like, have you ever invested in personal development? I was like, I was thinking, what is the personal development? And I wrote there like, and I wrote, even though working in corporate world here in America, I didn't even know, what. And then I wrote, oh, well, I remember the times when I changed, when I transformed, and I put there, okay, oh, well, working on the cruise line was for me personal development because it changed a lot. And then I don't know what else I said. And like, but that's not it. You're not, I did not invest in any coachings or something like that. Wow, it's so like when you start working on yourself, like your awareness is just like growing and growing, expanding. So it's so beautiful. Like they say, um like my one of my clients said, like, Mili, she's 50 years old, and she said, Mili, I've been blind for 50 years. I cannot believe this. Like, thank you so much for waking me up. Like, because now when you're aware, And as you said, you live in your bubble. Why you live in your bubble? Because you attract that people, like-minded people. That's why you know, it's totally another world, totally another world there.
Yeah.
And people are not aware of it.
Mhm. I know. I mean, sometimes I think that maybe I'm in like my 600th life here on Earth, and that's why
Yeah.
I came a little further. And some people are maybe in their 300th year of
Yeah.
or life of living here, and so maybe that's why it takes people different times to get there to say, well, I really, really want to know what there is out there for me, because I have the feeling that in some people it's a real urge. They feel that there is more, and then they start going into that personal development world. And then some people are not interested at all.
Yeah, true.
Right.
True. We all have our path, you know, here. We choose before we come on this earth. We choose what we want to do, what we want to be. um to some degree, you still can create when you're here, but you need to be aware of it, what you're creating, you know. And you're totally right, for some people it's not the right time. It's you know, they I heard of Bob Proctor, even though in 2000 or 2002, something like that. No, 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And I never read his books, but I was founding like his quotes, and I would share with my friends. Even his videos I would share, but not really taking it so seriously, you know. And they say when student is ready,
Yeah.
teacher always comes.
Goes
So
up. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yes, that's very true. That for a long time we just don't see the teacher, or we don't see that it's a teaching for us. And when the time is right, yeah, you'll find them and they'll find you, and it always
Yeah,
works. Yeah.
even if they're in front of your nose, like but you're not aware to recognize that.
Yeah.
And that's for lots of situations in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I have two more questions. One is there anything that you're still afraid of?
Yes.
What is it?
It will sound silly, but I'm afraid of myself.
Okay.
I'm afraid of my success and of, but this is not like a negative fear, it's a positive fear, whom I'm becoming, because I'm letting, you know, like when snake change the skin. So I'm kind of letting that old Millie slowly, and I'm becoming a new one. So it's like totally different dimension, and like so I am a little bit afraid of it, yes.
I feel you so much. I feel you so much. I know what you mean. Okay, cool. And what is your, and I want to say one more thing about that. I think that's a lot of times why people don't start or don't go further, because they're afraid of their
Yes,
own success, of what's,
yes,
and then you still have to keep going. Like you say,
yes.
it can be slow, but you have to keep going. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay,
Just keep going through that fear. That's always good.
yeah.
Yep.
What is your vision for the world?
Oh wow, for the whole world?
Yeah. Or for the world that you can help create, whatever is easier for you.
Yeah, that's my vision, is to really help people awake, like as many people as I can. And you know, people usually saying, "Oh, now there are so many coaches after COVID." And da, 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 da. Well, there is a reason why people started awakening and started helping others and doing this work, because there was a reason for COVID to happen too, you
Mhm.
know, and we needed to stop and think. People are always on the go, on the run, always like on the clock, around the clock, right? Family, work, you come home, you don't have time, even you're like nervous, you don't have time to rest, to sleep, to do your hobbies or whatever that might be, because of so many responsibilities. But if you would just stop and think, like as I said, like clear the mechanism, like freeze everything around you, freeze, just breathe a little bit, and like when you start from that place, oh, everything gets better. So that's my vision. My vision is to really help as many people as I can, to awake them, to help them transform. And the funny thing is that once when one person, my client, changes, his whole family changes, and also their friends changes, and then it's a ripple effect. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the vision. That's my mission on in this world. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
so
why
passionate.
that's very cool that you talk about the ripple effect, because that makes it so valuable. If one person starts, sometimes people think, I have a client and she says, well, I want to change so many things in this world, but what can I do? The problems are so big. And I tell her, no, it's not. If you start, you will change other people's thinking and behavior, and they will change, and by that there's that ripple effect, and you change the world by just starting with yourself. So that's a
Exactly.
very cool mission. And I also think that there are so many coaches now, because we need to change more. There's still not enough coaches. There's still not
No,
enough coaches to change the world. And I also think it's a point now to transform the entire world. And yeah, I mean, with COVID, we got what we asked for pretty much. People wanted
exactly.
less stress. They wanted more time with
Yes,
family,
family, exactly.
climate goals. We wanted to have
Exactly.
less pollution, less airplanes, so we pretty much got what we asked
God
for.
we asked for. Yes, exactly. Subconsciously, all of us wanted this. Yeah. I have so many people that I get in touch with that they are telling me, oh my God, like, don't get me wrong. I know so many people died during Corona, but I'm blessed. Like I love having Corona happen, because I changed and I had time to rethink, and like my life totally changed. And like, so lots of people like that.
Yeah, I think so too. Lots of people see that there were also positive things, or that there was, like you said, we stopped for a moment, like stop, everything was on hold. Okay, now
Yeah.
we have the chance to take a deep breath and get
Yes.
out of that like hustling all the time. And yeah, I see it the same way. And then,
Mm-hmm.
as we know, the how is not our business. So it's pretty much what
Yeah.
we ask for. I know we didn't want lockdown and we didn't want this and that, but I mean, the how is not your business. It's pretty much
Yeah.
what we asked for, and that was the how we were given.
That's how what we got it. So
Mhm.
yeah, so true.
Mhm.
Mm.
So, Millie, if people now think, well, what she says, that's so cool, and I want to hear more about that, and I want to follow her, how can the listeners find you?
Yeah, well, they can find me on my website, so www.millercoaching.com. They can follow me on Instagram, Mili Ristic. They can join my group, Miller Coaching Community, or they can follow me on Instagram also, which is Miller_coaching. So yeah, I would love actually to hear more from them. And I'm really grateful, Ula, that I was able to be your guest here today, that you invited me to share my wisdom and my experience. And this information with the German and also broader audience. It's amazing. It's amazing what you do. And yeah, I'm happy for you and for everybody else who actually gets in touch with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. I'll put all the information in the show notes so people can find you and follow you. I recommend it because I think Millie has really cool posts also. So follow her on Instagram and Facebook. And well, thank you so much for being here and for saying yes to being the first English speaking guest on my podcast. I'm so happy.
Oh, trust me, I have a good leg. You know what that means?
No.
No, whenever I go to the store, my father was used to owning lots of stores back home. So whenever, and he would call me, come to talk with me, like nobody is coming, nobody's in entering the store already like 5-6 hours. I'm like, okay. And then I go there. Since I step into the store, oh my God, people like every, like one by one. And he's like, I cannot believe this. Whenever you come, Like, I don't know what happened. So that's what I'm saying. I have a good leg. So trust me.
Perfect. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
lending me your leg.
Yeah, you'll have even more and more English.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
So cool. Thank you very much for being here, Mili. Thank you for taking the time. And I'm so happy that we met and that we connected. And I'm sure that this year, by the end of this year, we'll meet in New York City. And I'm so
Yes.
looking forward to it.
Me too, likewise. Yes, I'm happy and I cannot wait to see you here in New York.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope you really enjoyed this episode of Feel Inside Yourself with Mili today. Maybe you can take away some valuable things for yourself. And if you want to give us feedback, please leave a comment under the post on Instagram today. Or you can also leave a 5-star review if you listen with Apple Podcast. And now I wish you a very beautiful day and hope you're back next time on Feel Inside Yourself.